Oi! Thought I might find you here. Are you as ready to get off the ship as I am? I think we all are now. What was that? Ah, you wanna know what happened up in the tower? Well, if you'll pass on that rum this way, I'll be happy to tell you. First, we all had to get on the same page about killing Ramirez. Most of us agreed she didn't have to die, but others seemed to be reading from a different scripture.
Reese does not look so torn and sad, but she's looking at all these faces. She's gonna take a breath.
If you would like, I can have the conversation with her and tell her what needs to be done. This is something, it was one of my duties at the temple. But if we need to take a moment, I completely understand.
We're not killing her.
I'm sorry?
We had to do something though, about the 7 side of Ray. Finn made that clear, but Ori and Luden were a bit apprehensive.
So many people have died already, we don't want to just add to the pile.
I feel like I understand that we have to kill the 7, and it keeps coming back to this, but guys, we still have to live in the world after we kill the 7.
We still have to live with ourselves.
Hopefully.
Guys, love to point out, I'm pretty young. I want to look at the rest of my life after we finish this thing in a year or 2 and just be sad all the time because of all the decisions that we made. I don't want to be hated by the rest of the world.
They said that it was a choice. They said that there were 3 choices. But it was never a choice, and we never had one. It was always a question that needed an answer. That question was just very simple. When?
We can choose to end her life, or we can choose to extend her time, right? That's what they said.
Think so. I mean, I think whatever this thing is, it's clearly very parasitic in nature, right? So it's always attached to something. I don't think there's any way to get rid of a parasite like this without getting rid of the host. And so I think at the end of the day, this isn't a question of, if we kill her or if, they do whatever they want. I think this is a question of when, not if. I don't know about you, but I'm not really interested in other people deciding when I should die. And we all saw it that way. So we went back to the 3rd floor to talk with Ray. Ray looked a lot better when we got back to the 3rd floor. It was like the 7 was dormant once again.
You see the vein-like roots retract from that stained glass window back up into Ramirez's skin. And Ramirez lays asleep. Her breathing seems less labored now. She takes a deeper breath as her head moves to the other side, shifting in place. And the mink flinches as if the movement took it by surprise, its tail moving and whipping around excitedly. It stretches out atop her chest, sniffing at her nose. You see the veins around her face very slowly begin to recede. Back to her chest, into dormancy once more. We had to tell her everything. About the 7, the apocalypse, our mission, Revenir, all of it. Ray wasn't ready to pay the price for the world. But Uri was.
Your memories. They said that one of us could take it from you. And he will slowly reach out and grab her hand with both of his and put her hand in his and he'll say, you have dealt with this your entire life. You've sacrificed time with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And I'm not sure I have many people left. I'll take on this burden for you.
He took it from her. He took one of the 7 from Ray and offered himself to it. It was short-sighted, misguided, and the stupidest thing Ray's ever done. But it just might be the bravest.
The veins and the tendrils that are on Raymirth's arms begin to slither down her palm and down her fingers, and they kind of like pop up a little bit and then almost jump over onto Uramir's hands, his metal one and his flesh one, and they begin to slither up, and as they do, Uramir kind of like, he winces at the pain as he feels this new entity entering into him, and even around his metal arm, the copper and metal tubing, it just slithers through his metal arm and then up onto his flesh, and it's a lot more than he thought it would be. Like it just keeps coming, and it keeps coming, and to the point where his arms are almost completely black as he's standing there, and a couple of tears start to stream down from his eyes from the pain that he's feeling, taking on just all of this. And as the tendrils kind of like, they slide up underneath his clothes and up on his chest, and you see them come up through his neck and just like through his like underneath his skin, and you like the jugular vein, you just feel it, you see it pulsating as this, it's almost like an irregular heartbeat as it's pulsating up through him, and it comes up, and his eyes are usually all black, they don't have any pupils, and the veins as they wrap around his face, they like go into his eyes, into the black pools of his eyes, and just seep down into him, and he just stands there, and he kind of retches a little bit, and he coughs up a little blood as the 7 enters into him, and this goes on for a couple of seconds as the 7 finds its new home inside of Uramir, and then finally the last of the tendrils jumps over from Raymirth and slithers its way up and into his eye, and creeps back down his neck, and just kind of settles into his chest. And as the last tendril does, he lets go and just falls down, just collapses.
I couldn't believe it. How could he do this to us? Leave, not want to be a part of all this, to be gone, sacrifice himself. But Praeria had some insight on it.
Why do you think? To him, he's just done the worst thing he could ever think of anyone having to do. And here, he had a chance to do the best thing anyone has ever done for her. He's a good person. And the guilty one.
This price is too high. You shouldn't overpay your debts.
It's hard to feel that way when you are the one in debt. All I know is that my friend feels good. And he hasn't in so long. I'm happy for him.
Uri took us all by surprise. We took a couple days for him to recover and for us to get our heads on straight. I think we all need a day of rest. On the last day, Ray had plenty to offer us. Gold, paint, potions, wands, eternal damnation, books. Uri and Ray seemed to be on close terms when all was said and done though. But I wasn't exactly ready to see her again anytime soon. I want to thank you for all your gifts. And I hope that you leave here and you enjoy the world out there is very nice and very kind. And I hope that you enjoy it a great deal. I would ask wholeheartedly, with everything that I am, that you never come back here again. And you're not gonna be here when he goes. Because I'm gonna be here when he goes. And we are. Because we're his friends. And you're not. So that was that. Came back to the air salon to set sail. That's the reason I spoke with Ari about our next destination.
Yes, essentially what Samson is asking is, are we going to continue our business relationship, or do you think it's best to part ways in Sable? We of course would adore spending more time with you and your crew. You've been most hospitable to us, and we've learned much, but must our paths diverge?
Well, we do want to continue to search the skies. There's much to be explored. I do know that is something that Grom is very interested in. However, you have been wonderful crewmates, and should you need a ride and us be in the area, we would love to oblige.
We decided to head to the Dusty Anchor. An inn in the desert on the way to Sable. And that's where we're headed now. I suppose we'll be looking for Uri's dad next. Maybe we'll find him before he's dead. Hey, you're kind of over there by Luden's room. Did you hear that commotion over there last night?
You feel yourself being dragged to the center of the room, pulled through the floorboards, down, and you fall. And you can't see anything, but it feels as if you're falling through the webs of spiders. It sticks to your skin, and it builds as you fall, wrapping around your head, your arms, your legs. You feel your body begin to suffocate almost. This frantic need to breathe, and the darkness smothers you. And you hear a chorus of whispers, the same voice, over and over again.
Follow me, find me, follow me, find me, find me.
You're right. Probably nothing. It's not like Luden's got anything to hide. Oh, I'm so ready to get off this boat and see what happens next time on Fate's End at 7:30 Central Standard Time here at twitch.tv/Ink and Liar.